Hello, grade five. Okay, we're going to start the weather journal. So I'm just going to walk you guys through kind of what I've set up. I think this will work well. Um, it's a good way for me to see that you guys are staying on top of it. As every time you do it, I can go in and check it. You don't have to keep submitting it. You can just keep an ongoing thing, and I'll be able to make sure you guys are on top, and we can check in to make sure you guys have any questions or anything like that. So hope we're all doing well. If you enjoyed the podcast, I know it could have been a little bit adult or scientific. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. And it's some of the stuff was over my head, right? They're talking about a lot of history, and I just thought it was really cool how they need everybody around the world has to collaborate to make this thing work, unless it all kind of falls apart, right? If we don't get information from Russia and the United States and Europe, then we can't predict our weather here in Edmonton, right? We won't know what it's going to be like in 4 days if we don't know what it's like in like Russia right now. Okay, so that's what I thought was pretty cool about it. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how far along it's come, right? And this was an idea that's so old, back when they were doing the telegraphs. Lost my words there for a second. The telegraphs, right? Just the Morse code, just beep 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 beep, just little wire transmissions. Now, of course, we got satellites and all sorts of stuff, but anyways, off track. Here's our little template that I'd like you guys to use. I think it's just a good little tool for us to be able to kind of talk about the weather, and give us a chance to upload a picture and just some very general things. It's going to be the same every day as you go along. So what I'd like you guys to do is just fill in what you have. So first, we'll start with the date. Today is April 3rd, 2020. It's asking you to go outside, take a picture. So I'm hoping that you guys can find a spot in your yard, or maybe if you have a field across the street that's nice, that you guys can just go outside if you're well enough, or it could just be out your window. If you take it from the same place every day, then we can start to see a little bit of a pattern, right? We can start to see the snow slowly melt. Maybe if we do this, maybe we're doing it at the right time, or maybe you can start to see a little bit of a blossom coming in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to see maybe there's a bird nest shows up, or there's something else like that. So if you take it from the same place all the time, then we can start to see a pattern, and we can start to see how it changes over time as well. So try to do that if you can. So to upload an image, here's what we have to do. So we just go to insert, okay, in the top left here, and add an image. And you can take one just with your camera. You can do this on your phone as well, if that's your only device. You can do it from your camera. If you have Google Photos, you can start from there, or you might have to upload an image to Google Drive and then access it from there. Or if it's just on your computer, we can upload from your computer as well, or there might be one from your phone if you're doing it from your phone as well. So mine's on Google Drive, and this is one I took a couple of days ago. Some of you might recognize this from the fog living in the clouds thing that I put up. So here's our image, and I'm just going to try to make it fit into this box a little bit. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And if it doesn't fit perfectly, that's fine. I just try to give you guys a little bit of space there. So make it big enough that we can see it. So here again, this is out the patio of the school. So usually you could see the railroad in the back there and stuff, but it was foggy, so you can't. So the temperature, okay? If you have a thermometer in your house, use that, right? If you have like an actual thing, or sometimes you have one on the outside of your house that will tell you the temperature. If you have one of those, try to use that. It's a good skill to be able to use to read a thermometer. If not, just check a website or check your phone or check your parents' phone or however you can get the weather. So today it says that it is negative 16 degrees. It's quite cold out. And the wind direction. So this is where we're going to use our pinwheel that I showed you guys how to make. This is my little pinwheel. So if there's any wind, you can go outside and kind of hold it up. The wind should make it move, and you guys can figure out which way the wind is blowing. Again, try to figure out north, south, east, west, right? Use Google Maps if you have to try to figure out what that is, or just ask your folks and they can kind of explain that to you as well. So which way is the wind blowing? I went outside and it is blowing to the west. Okay. Describe the clouds using adjectives. So we'll get into the actual types of clouds later, but for now you can just talk about, are they fluffy? Are they up high? Are they thin and wispy? You can use all your LA words to try to be as creative as you can. And then once we actually know the types of clouds, then you guys can use your scientific words. So I'm going to say the clouds were close to the ground. We call it fog. Okay. And that's about it. So you could talk about if it was a clear day, you can say there's no clouds. If it's completely overcast, you can say there's tons of clouds there. You can talk about if they're light or dark. Was there any precipitation? So describe the precipitation. Was there a lot? Was there a little bit? Was it snow? Was it rain? Was it some sort of mix? Was it hail? So I'll say no precipitation. Okay, and that might change day to day. Hopefully it does. Changes from yesterday. So I'd say it's foggy today, and I could say that it's 2 degrees colder. Okay, something quick, simple. If you start, this is when we get farther along, if you start to notice that the snow melts, or if you start to notice that it gets a lot warmer, or maybe the grass is starting to turn green, that's the kind of things that you want to put into your log for changes from yesterday. Okay, so and you can go back and take a look at the picture and compare your pictures from the day before. So I've given you guys a few days here to start with, but you're going to run out and you're going to have to make more. So here's how you make a new slide. The problem is that if you just hit new slide like you guys are used to doing, it turns up blank. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So I'm going to delete that. What we have to do, and I'll show you this a couple times, we have to right click. So the right side of our mouse here. And then it's going to be duplicate slide. So it's gonna make a copy and then an exact copy of what it just was. Okay. So you can do that, and then it gives you a brand new one, and you can go in and edit it day to day to day to day. Okay. You might have to change a couple of things. If you're having trouble with this, please email me, or if it's like a lot of trouble, even if you just do all the descriptions and the temperature and the wind direction on a piece of paper and just keep a journal running, that would be awesome. If you want to take pictures and maybe just share them with me or save them all and we can talk about them all at the end. The pictures are nice just, again, so we can see that pattern day after day after day. So again, to make a new slide, again, I'm going to right click and duplicate. Okay, so we get the same thing starts showing up again and again and again. Okay, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate, and you can do that all the time. So as long as you guys are updating this, then I can go in and just kind of poke in and say, yeah, they're up to date. And this will be our science for a little bit. Again, This just should be something fun. Just explore your world a little bit, stay curious. The pinwheel should be fun. If it breaks, they're easy to make, so don't feel too bad about that. If you have a better way, maybe you have wind chimes or something like that in your backyard, if you have a better way or a different way of figuring out which way the wind's blowing, just hold up a wet finger, you can figure that one out. However you do it. So hope you guys have fun with that. Let me know if you have any questions, and virtual high fives for everybody. Okay, awesome guys.